Welcome to Sailing Saoirse. I'm Tegan. My parents sold our house, sold their business, and bought a 38-foot island spirit catamaran with the goal to travel the world. Only problem is, it needed a complete refit. After 3 years, we are finally ready to set sail. This is Colbin, my husband, Karen, my mum, Denver, my brother, and Robin, my dad. Together we make up Sailing Saoirse.
Okay. You can hold this for me?
I need to take the rod away from him. Positive energy, please. Coming in far too easy.
Yeah. There's no resistance.
Is there fish?
Yeah, keep it coming.
No way!
Karen, come on to the steering here.
I don't appreciate it. You better not be giving
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It looks very hard.
No.
Yeah, it is. Don't let it go. Don't let it go. Bring it up. Yeah. That's going on.
Well done, Dad.
Who's Fish Dorado? What's the chances?
Oh, well done. And it's on his reel.
Nah.
On the reel, Colbin had no faith.
Well done. First fish of Saoirse's life.
Or baby Dorado.
If you haven't watched last week's episode, you didn't know the storm we came through, so we openly welcomed this amazing weather that we had for the rest of our trip to St. Helena. We're passing the Greenwich Meridian.
And there it goes. Okay, well, thanks Neptune for being so nice.
Okay, so we've been at sea for 13 days. 13 days.
Oh,
And we've slowly but surely been watching the meridian get closer and closer. We've just crossed it. It was about 11 o'clock in the evening. Colbin was on watch. Robin's fast asleep because he's doing the 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock shift. And just before we were watching the clock to go over from the eastern hemisphere into the western hemisphere, is that right?
To west, yeah.
A beautiful flying fish flew through that little window over there. The whole cabin, the whole cockpit is enclosed. That's the little tiny piece that's open. And this beautiful flying fish, like a present from Neptune. And then Colbin had a shooter and gave Neptune a shooter. And we are now in the western hemisphere.
St. Helena Radio, St. Helena Radio, St. Helena Radio. This is Sailing Vessel Saoirse, Sailing Vessel Saoirse, Sailing Vessel Saoirse. Do you copy?
Sailing Vessel Saoirse, Sailing Vessel Saoirse, Sailing Vessel Saoirse. This is St. Helena Radio, St. Helena Radio, St. Helena Radio, over.
St. Helena Radio, this is Sailing Vessel Saoirse. We have 4 persons on board. The gross tonnage is 13 tons and overall length is 11.5 meters.
Sailing Vessel Saoirse, that is affirmative. Also, just to remind you, there are vessels flying the yellow flag. Please do not try to contact them or interact with them. And when you get into James Bay, please remain on your vessel until you're close to the harbour master. Over.
Yes sir, message received. Thank you very much, St. Helena Radio, standing by, Channel 16. On Saoirse, we have a rule not to approach new anchorages and mooring fields in the dark. So we timed our approach into St. Helena as day broke. We moved from the south of the island up the west coast, and by the time we had moved into the James Bay area, we had more than enough light to approach the mooring safely and tie up.
So we made it to St. Helena.
Yeah, finally.
You're feeling a little buggered.
Yeah, it's been a long trip.
After 17 days at sea, we really appreciated the sight of land. As we approached St. Helena, we had the most amazing show of over 100 dolphins swimming around us. It was just a good omen on our part that we got here, we were happy, we were safe, and there was a lot to be grateful for. Den Van Verney had arrived at St. Helena the night before us and had picked up a mooring bull. We found the closest one to them and picked up ours. We tested out our underwater lights for the first time in beautifully clear water, and we definitely attracted a few garfish. After about half an hour of having the lights on, if we took a torch and shone it across the water at the back of the boat, there were just hundreds of garfish coming to the disco party that was happening under our boat. Along with a few thousand baitfish.
And whilst we were outside looking at nature and the lights of the water, we got the crossword nerds and Robin. They got crossword books today.
After 2 days on the mooring in St. Helena, we picked up a problem with our mooring lines. They chafed through quite a substantial amount, and we made a decision to change them out before there was a disaster. So this involved changing out the lines and adding 2 pieces of pipe around each mooring line to stop the chafe around the steel ring. The steel ring is quite a solid ring but extremely rough, and that contributed to most of the chafing. This was a pretty easy task to plan, but to undertake it was a lot more difficult than we anticipated.
The wind seems to have died down a little bit.
The protocol in St. Helena was you have to stay on your boat until the testing day, which was a Thursday, and then receive your results that following Friday before you were allowed off and onto land. We had arrived on Tuesday morning, so had to wait 2 days on the boat to get our test done on Thursday.
If you get grey matter on there, push it back on.
See if you find it.
Very fast. Very fast. Ben was with us finally. How many days?
20.
23.
No.
No, it's
20 now.
20 now.
20 now. Jeez, feels like 21 and we won't see.
This is Washing Hair Island style. Got Colbin fishing for breakfast. Tegan getting all beautiful for customs and immigration. Washing one's hair with a view.
Something we found out at Customs and Immigration was the fact that St. Helena has never, in the history of COVID, had an active COVID case on the island. After receiving our negative COVID results, we were able to jump on the ferry and head to land to check in with Customs and Immigration. Ferry operates all day till 7 p.m. and it costs you £2 for a round trip. You can come in on your own tender, but the dock is quite treacherous.
Oh my word, we're on land. Describe how it feels. The whole world is like going.
Yeah, it's like you stand here and it's like.
Oh, weird. How many days since we stood on solid land? On the 13th, 2? What are we now?
12.
20 days.
20 days.
Yo, 20 days.
Customs and Immigration was so easy and the people were so friendly. It took us about 20 minutes to get through everything. You do have to have medical insurance, which you have to go to the bank for, and then to the insurance company to claim, and then go back to the police station, which is up at the top of the hill. But all in all, it was a seamless process. Nowhere on the island deals with cards or credit cards, so you have to go to the little old-fashioned bank, draw your money and use that. The town was full of old infrastructure and beautiful people. I don't think I've ever been to a country where people are so friendly. You don't walk past a single person that doesn't wave at you or greet you. It was just a different way of living. Most nights we had dolphins chasing fish around the yacht. We couldn't believe how big this flying fish was when it jumped up onto the sugar scoop. When we said that you could bring your dinghy to the dock, but it was a little bit treacherous, this is what we meant. The tidal surge was very unpredictable, and you also had to tie onto the buoy over there and then swim across to the dock and tie on. The one morning we saw Dorado swimming around under the boat, or mahi mahi as some people call it. They were smashing the bait, and it was burning Colbin severely, knowing that he wasn't allowed to fish. We didn't realize when we first got to St. Helena that it is illegal to fish there, and it comes with quite a big fine if they do find you fishing. We've done about 6 steps. We're taking a break so my mom can catch up. This is Little Jamestown. We're about 1/3 up. Still a long way to go.
Don't look back.
What we didn't take into account was the fact that my mom has half the length of leg as the normal human being, so we are pretty sure it felt like she did double the amount of steps than we did.
So scared of falling backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, done.
So we made it to the top.
Barely. Go pink around the orchids.
Took about 302 stops along the way.
But we made it. We said we did Jacob's ladder.
Yeah. 699 steps. Fastest recorded ascent is 5 minutes. We did it in about 25 minutes. There's Saoirse. And Silhouette. And the rest of the anchorage. We really enjoyed being able to catch up on our rest, sleep in the mornings, do a little bit of exploring, and fix what needed to be fixed before the next leg of our journey.
So we've come over to the cliff face. We're going to do some diving right on the edge. So many beautiful fish here. That's where we are. And there's Saoirse over there. Rest of the field.
Denver had told us about how many fish there were closer to the cliff face, so my mum and I headed off with everyone on the boat laughing at us that, oh wow, you're gonna go see a few fish. Little did we know that we'd be joined by a beautiful ray. You can tell from my reaction that I was very shocked. It was amazing how inquisitive the ray was. It would swim straight for us, circle us, head away, and head straight back towards us again. There were quite a few times where we had to dodge him because he was getting so close. Colburn, who was sitting up on the tender above us, got a little bit jealous, headed back to the boat to grab his snorkeling stuff, and on his way back, the ray just disappeared into the distance. Only for two to appear out of the shadows in the distance and swim with us for about another 20 minutes.
Ashore to clear out today at St. Helena, and we're very proud of ourselves. This is all the rubbish we've got from the time we left South Africa, so this is a month's worth of rubbish that we have accumulated. Good day, St. Helena Radio. We are preparing to leave. We'd like to thank you for your hospitality. We'll be dropping our mooring shortly.
This is St. Helena Radio. Your message was received. Give us your patient journey. I look forward to seeing you again someday. St. Helena Radio, standing by, channel 1.
thank you very much. And again, we'd just like to thank you for your hospitality. We've had a lovely stay, and we will hopefully get back here one day. Saoirse out. So we've been in St. Helena for a week, and we're leaving Brazil. Here we come.
Silhouette's going to leave a few hours after us. They've just got some stuff to do on the shore. From St. Helena, we had another long passage to Fernando de Noronha. Thank you for watching with us. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below.